Okay, welcome back to Songs of Conquest, where we are hopefully going to be finishing off the map Grow today, which is going to start with this battle against Girighet, the commander of the Vildra, who has come to attack our lands. Before we go any further though, just to mention, since I brought it up in the previous episode, I think it's worth having a quick look at the codex, just because I did mention the possibility of getting blighted vessels from battle, and there is actually a way to do that, which is to go to Reap the Harvest. We can see at level 3, Reap the Harvest is actually what gets you blighted vessels instead of broken vessels. I've actually seen a comment suggesting that this is kind of overpowered. I'm not sure if that's the consensus or not, but certainly in this version of the game, the initial version of the Roots DLC patch, this is still the case. That is still the way to do it. So it can be done, but we're some way off that. We only have level 1 in that skill. Another thing to mention, we do have enough Celestial Ore to go for one final upgrade before we take this fight, which our only real option is to go for the Unbound Destruction research. Bit of extra destruction essence going into this fight. And we do have plenty of movement, but we'll still go to the waterfall for a little bit more. And this should give us enough to go to this first. But yeah, we can see Girighet here has a force of various different types of Vildra. He represents the disease of the Vildra. And yeah, we've already powered ourselves up so much that I'm pretty confident we can do this. A wielder of the diseased approached. Now Grow had purpose, and the last of its resistance vanished. Grow, the one who walks with roots. Vildra Slayer, bringer of health. Disgusting tree things. Always taking. This is ours now. We will have it. Cease. Okay, so this formation we can see we've got a few little bits of higher ground, which unfortunately we don't get to start on. But we can also see that actually there are quite a few obstacles here, and the game has quite wisely positioned the pulses in pretty much the perfect place for their laser beam attack. We can shoot right across there. And hopefully we can funnel the opponents down into this little corridor. We could also potentially go for this spot instead, shoot them while they're on the higher ground, but yeah, I think this position is pretty good. I think we do want to have the option of, well, this actually is high ground, so this stack of 40 is in the right place. Don't want all of our range units stuck together though, so I'm going to move these up to the top. And yeah, that seems pretty good. Let's go for it. So he's a level 13 wielder, so he will have some pretty good spellcasting, I imagine. Okay, so he moves first, so he comes forward with the Sarimnan, doesn't go for the Bull Rush. First stack to move on our side are the spawns, but they do soon get to move with 2 stacks of Skin Shifters, and this stack of Skin Shifters is actually the one we potentially target with the pulses. So I'm gonna start off. We could try slowing them down. I do also want to go for Clouded Vision on the Trolls, but the Trolls can't currently reach us. Yeah, I'm going to slow these down. Also triggers their Berserking, which makes them take a little bit more damage. And the idea is, it's not really worked, but the idea is if we can slow them down enough that the pulses get to move first, we can guarantee we can at least hit those. Other spells we could go for Strength and Essence, which in this case is not a bad choice. We do expect this battle to last at least 2 rounds of our various choices. So these have already moved, but they do generate 3 types of essence. Our other choices, the Dreads for the additional creation and destruction. We go for these, just creation and chaos. It's not really what we want. A lot of extra creation if we cast it on the pulses, which I think we do want to do. So yeah, we're gonna enhance the essence generation of the pulses. We're gonna stay, I think, in place. These can leap, which means we don't have to worry too much about blocking them off. And we want to stay close together for the symbiosis. Okay, let's see what they do. Oh wow, okay. They go for the Blind Hatred, and our full stack of Broken Vessels does a lot of damage to our Chucks. Okay, that's a shame. These do get to move next, and we've not been able to give ourselves the option of slowing them down any further. So I'm just going to hope they stay on this axis. It seems kind of unlikely though. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out. We can send these forward and go for an attack. I think it is safer not to do so, particularly with the trolls over there. I think we just let them take the next move. We're not blocking in any of our units, so yeah, we'll just end the turn there. As, okay, they do move off that position, that's a shame. I guess AI knows what we can do with the pulses. Okay, so these units, I think... Again, we do want to stay back. We can always leap over our other units if we need to. Oh, this looks like a really good place to hit with the Mucus Blast. Let's go for that next. Let's end the turn. So I don't know if Burst of Strength helps us with Mucus Blast. I think we probably want to save our Chaos and our Destruction for other options, potentially. Yeah. We could destroy Essence of theirs, too. If there's anything that is particularly bad for us. So Lick generate Chaos and Arcana, that's not that much. Yeah, most of these units just generate 2 different types of Essence, which doesn't really worry me too much. Okay, let's go for the Mucus Blast on all of these, which does do a really nice amount of damage. Then these get to move. So if we want to go for... So Rapid Fire is going to come in too late for us to be able to use. If we try going for Onslaught instead, that is probably what we're saving our Essence for, but we do need a lot more order for that. So they do get to move pretty soon with the Trolls. We do need some order for that as well, though. So, okay, I think we're just going to weaken these some more. Then these get to move. We don't really have the option to damage that many of them. I think we just go for a straightforward attack. So these units, when you move them, they don't actually lose damage potential. They still deal just as much damage, which is quite a useful thing to know, especially given they're quite difficult to use sometimes if you don't position them right. Okay, so we still don't have the ability to go for Clouded Vision. We could go for Insect Swarm, but we're only really going to generate Arcana from these. Actually, Creation Essence from these, but it's not really Creation that's holding us back. It's a lack of order. So I think we just rely on the fact that these will have to move forwards in order to attack. And I'm going to save my Essence for now. I'm not too worried about the Trolls from that distance, as they do go for an attack, and they do manage to kill off one of our Dreads. Okay. These can go for the lunge, which I imagine would do a nice amount. Kind of tempted to try it. So we can entangle one of their units. Do we actually want to go in and engage in melee? I guess we don't really need to. Most of their units can't really reach us. The stacks at the top could. But yeah, no, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to stay away from the pulses so they have a nice clean shot when they need to. Just going to cycle through these turns, I think. These are good as defenders. These are also good as defenders. So the Sarimnan can come through. These things will have to pull us into a challenge, but they could potentially do that. We might want to repel something. It has been suggested to me that I should use repel more often with the Zone of Control, which I know is really powerful, but I also do just really enjoy knocking the opponents back before they can do anything to us. Entangle in some ways is probably worse than repel for us right now. Okay, so this stack, if it wants to go for the Bull Rush, it has to rush forwards, which means... I guess it kind of has to go down to here, and then it rushes forwards to take on the Dreads, which isn't really too bad for us. I don't think we really mind that. So I am just going to skip ahead. Slightly worried what he can do to us with his spells, but we're going to try and hang on to our Essence for now. He goes for Lethargy. Okay. Okay, they go for the leap, and they go for the Dreads, and they actually do quite a lot of damage. I guess if we upgraded these to Terrors, they would be doing better, but actually... not one of our better stacks right now. Okay, so we do have Breath of the Phoenix. If we go for that, we can get these 2 stacks, which is not amazing, but 75 damage is not bad. Still think this is a really nice target for the Mucus Blasts, but it's pretty difficult for us to speed ourselves up enough to go for that. Arcane Storm here also. We could go for both this and Breath of the Phoenix. Yeah, that does cover quite a lot. I do want to try and slow them down. So next units to move, these can't reach us. I think we still go for Clouded Vision on these, make sure they can't do anything to us. Okay, so that's those taken care of. These things can go for the leap. Kind of surprised by how far these went, but these have been mucus blasted, so they are slowed down. And then, yeah, these get to move. So we probably don't really get to... Well, we could try going for lethargy ourselves, drop their initiative by 10. Could maybe go for it twice as well. So our next stack to move is these, and what we really need is the extra Chaos Essence. So if the Piercers get to move... These are on 13 initiative, Piercers also 13. Their fastest stacks are on 19. So actually, yeah, I think... we could lethargy them twice. Or just once is also fine. And now we do get to move pretty much all of our stacks before they can move theirs. Okay, 6 to 9 kills. If we go for this, I don't think we do. I think we will allow this turn to pass us by. Well, we could actually go for the repel here. This is actually a situation where that would work really well. Only thing with that is it will stop us being able to go for something like Rupture, but I think, to be fair, this is exactly a situation where repel will help us. So they're locked into 2 of our unit zones of control, and we do just get to take them out. We have a huge amount of momentum, and we can go forwards to go for an attack, but yeah, this stack is not as strong as I was hoping it would be when I recruited it. So I think we end the turn there. These can jump forward if they want to. If we go for Dimension Door or something, we could reach the Skin Shifters. I don't think we do, though. I think we end the turn, then we go across to these, and we're going to try to hit as many stacks as we can. So this is still probably the right choice. Same thing with these. So pretty much all of those stacks have been rendered pretty useless, and this stack doesn't have a lot of choice. I don't think we can shoot through these obstacles. We could try it with Dimension Door, but we don't have enough left. Breath of the Phoenix, if we did go for that. Perhaps on these 2 stacks, but it only gets 1 kill per stack, which isn't amazing. I think we probably need to accept the fact that our damaging spells don't do too much for us with this setup, and it's really our units we're going to rely on. Okay, so Trolls move next, they can't do anything to us, then our Blighted Vessels move after that. We can at least finish these off. I don't really want to risk moving these to a more dangerous location, so yeah, we'll go for that. Gets us some more momentum too. Yeah, these units can't really do too much to us, and they put themselves in perfect range for Breath of the Phoenix, which, yeah, it doesn't do much, but it's hard to turn that down. It's just too perfect. Plus, it's got a cool animation, so let's do it. I'm not worried we're going to lose this fight. Okay, so if we want to go slightly further forward, Quicken will enable us to go for the lunge. And then these stacks have been slowed down so much. I mean, we could be challenged by the Skin Shifters, but I think maybe we do that. We go for the Quicken, and we start going for melee. Because yeah, with the lunge, we should be pretty much guaranteed to kill this stack of 11. Oh no, we actually go for these instead, but it's fine. I'd actually prefer that, I think. So we get to hit those really hard. They don't do much to us in response. Okay, this stack of 81, we could try going for Dimension Door. We could finish that stack off. The Sarimnan do get to move first, start of next round. But we can go for Insect Swarm to slow those down. I think we stay back with these. These can go forward pretty easily, but we would have to again use Dimension Door to make that work. If anything, I'd rather Dimension Door these back to safety. But yeah, that should work. The Sarimnan can't go for a Bull Rush, and yeah, I think Dimension Door these. Somewhere like this is fine to keep ourselves safe. This stack can't reach us. Yeah, nothing else can really do anything to us, other than his spellcasting, which could cause us some problems. What's he going for there? Oh. Yikes, I didn't take all of that in. So, he definitely did something pretty horrible to the Pulsers. And every time the Pulsers get attacked, they go for an attack themselves, but there was nothing in the way at least, so we didn't friendly fire. What did happen is he went for his destruction spell, killed a lot of our units off. Blind Hatred on the Chuckers. As I look across it now, I guess the losses weren't that bad. 8 to 16 kills from these. It's the start of the round. I feel like Burst of Strength. We still have all these weaker units, but we have numbers, so Burst of Strength still works really well for us. If we go for that, it goes up to 12 to 19 kills. If we go for it again, we need Destruction for that, so that's not going to work. Okay, 12 to 19 kills could work. So, stack of 10 gets to move pretty soon. They do have their movement. I think we want to slow those down, or we could just bind them in place. Take them out of this round. We're going to blind these again. And I think we do go for this. Is it worth going for anything else first? So, Boiling Blood's not the best use of our Chaos Essence, really. 12 damage over 2 rounds, it's not great. I think we just get involved. So yeah, they don't do much damage back. Those actually go back, and he goes for the Apocalypse. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know what it achieved to fall back like that. But anyway, this stack gets to move next. So these are our Dreads. They can finish these off. Let's do that. Okay, so what's going on here? Lots of momentum. We're still seeing a lot of our units glowing, but I don't think they're under any particular effects. Okay, so 8 kills if we go for this. If we try to go for a leap, we can't really get to anything unless we go for a spell, but none of these spells really work. Maybe swap. But yeah, we don't need to. Let's just kill these off. Then back to these units. So we've lost a few of these, but we got some pretty easy targets. I think rather than go for this, let's see if we can shoot. So to shoot, we'd have to move. Let's just go for Mucus Blast. And go for it on these units too, but they're pretty weak. Okay, we're gonna go for, I guess, Verdant Pulse. We don't want to move these around too much, and yeah, they don't really get a good shot on anything unless we put them in a position where they can friendly fire. So yeah, let's go for Verdant Pulse. These can then go for the lunge into the Licked, but I think we're better off staying back. At some point we probably want to lunge into the Skin Shifters, but not just yet. I'm going to move these out of the way because they keep going for the, even though it is good for Symbiosis, they keep going for the Blind Hatred, which puts me off staying so close to our range units. They can't go for anything. If we send these forward, they can kill off the stack of 4, that's perfectly fine. Let's do it. Then next round begins. This time though we go into it with Initiative, and we do get the option of Arcane Storm if we want to. Rejuvenation potentially. I think we'll take the Initiative out of these. Maybe these two. Okay, that makes a big difference to those, and we still have enough to slow these down some more. So now pretty much all our stacks get to move before they can move. Do we want to go for an attack? So we could Dimension Door. Depends if this is one of our strongest stacks. Probably these are better. But I'm gonna go for it. I think it's probably fine. Okay, just gotta get here. So this will get us, let's have a look, 8 to 9 kills. That's definitely gonna kill them off. Then we skip. Finish them off. Okay, so quite a few losses taken, but mainly due to the spell casting rather than the units. Yeah. Pretty heavy losses across the board, but we do get the Whip of Lashing, the Glimmerweave Spinning Wheel, and the Dragon Tooth. +1 Arcana Essence, that's pretty good. As the battle grew to a close, the diseased wielder fled from the roots. The diseased dead were of no use to anything, they would be purged. And it says they've been defeated. Okay, so skill options, command 9. So we do actually already have all of our possible slots filled due to one of our artifacts. So that's actually something we probably shouldn't go for. Cunning gives us additional damage for the first couple of rounds, though we do tend to hang back, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe we go for command to give ourselves the option of taking that artifact off. It's a bit late to go for learning. I'm going to go for command. I think it's literally, yeah. Literally pointless if we keep this equipped. I was expecting to finish the set, but we never got the Staff of Binding. I don't think any of this stuff is better than what we already have. Inhib braces? No. Okay, I do still want to know what's to the north. It says we defeated them. But yeah, the other wielder we have to worry about, Soughtfor, is still quite some way off. With a lot of Scarred Brutes. The Scarred Brutes should have a bad time against the Chuckers. Okay, let's go to this. Den is empty. Burial Mound. Visited. And there is a town here. So who is this owned by? It's surely owned by the disease, but it says we defeated them. Anyway, it's fine. We're going to take that, and we should still be able to defend this if we need to. Briar is about to be completed. Let's end the turn. Soughtfor is starting to head towards us. Still going to take this town. This area used to be for humans, but now it was infected by disease. The roots must embrace it so the sickness can be contained and destroyed. Okay, there's a small guard in here, but nothing too bad. Let's try quick battle. That's fine. Okay, let's just raise this one and let's try and come back as soon as possible. Replenish our units. Okay, so we've got Essence Anomaly. Giant Mushrooms, I think, is a good choice for our spawns and things. Over here, the Briar has been completed, so this is our finalized Roots town. There might be one or two things we could upgrade, but no, this is pretty much a fully upgraded town. Guard tower could be upgraded for Celestial Ore, but let's not bother. Okay, let's look at what our options are from the Briar. So, +1 movement. That is actually kind of useful to us, but it's expensive. +1 view radius, more experience, more broken vessels. Bit late for all of that. +5 initiative to all our troops is pretty good. I might actually go for that. Other options, we can get additional range on Lobbers and Chuckers, although bear in mind Mucus Blast does work from any range. Additional initiative for Dreads, but most of those have been killed. +1 damage to Fungi, we've got to go for that. And we don't have any Seeds of the Mother. Somebody did ask me to do a playthrough with the Seeds of the Mother. I am actually already planning to do so, a map called Creeping Borders. Going to be focusing a lot more on Seeds and Roots of the Mother. See the other side of how this faction plays, so do keep an eye out for that series. Okay, we still have enough to go for... nothing we care about so much. It's really just Glimmerweave we need. We could try buying some. How are our rates looking? So how much do we need? +5 initiative. We get 2 per turn. It's going to take 2 turns to get back anyway. Still got our Glimmerweave Grove for now. Okay. Just going to end the turn there, as Soughtfor is actually maybe going back to defend. Probably a wise choice. +1 essence for the next battle, and yeah, +1 damage, +1 troop movement. This kind of thing pairs really well with blighted vessels plus spawns. We're nearly back to the town. I think I'm going to let the Dreads go, because we don't have a way to upgrade those. And we're going to make ourselves as strong as possible going into this next fight. Okay, so we need to spend at least 1 more turn. Just looping round, but that's fine. Going to take as much strength as we can, and I think there's a good chance this is the final battle. Okay, so we can upgrade our broken vessels into blighted vessels. Before we do, Let's pick up a few extra units. So let's take as many of these as we can. Could go for the flayers, which we've not yet used. All we do is patch these back up. Okay, so other options, we do, I think, want to finish this stack off. We do want to finish this stack off. We can go for the remainder of the pulses, which might work pretty well against the Scarred Brutes. We need to let this stack go though, the Dreads. They've done all they can. So let's move them down to there. And I guess we could take the Flayers. So the Flayers will attack in multiple directions, which is probably good against a hero with a lot of Scarred Brutes. Should be able to finish off that stack. Let's go for that. And yeah, let's finish these off and replenish our Blighted Vessels. Not a huge amount of anything else available. So yeah, I think our best bet is just to upgrade what we have. Super expensive, but they are better units. Then we just buy the remainder. And we've actually managed to spend all of our gold. We could trade to get some more, but yeah, we've pretty much filled out our full complement of units. If we were to go for additional capacity, we can go for +5 piercers, +3 pulses. I'm a little bit scared of the pulses just because they can friendly fire. Or the additional fungi would be great. We're quite some way off the swift routes. Okay, let's trade first. We should make ourselves as strong as possible going into this fight. So what we definitely don't need is the stone and the wood. No longer necessary. And we have a ton of ancient amber, but let's come back to that. Yeah, we want to fill out this stack. Draft 35 more of these, plus take the 19 we already have, and that is a full stack of 200 spawns with the additional damage from our ability. So yeah, they're going to be extremely powerful. Other research we can go for, so 10 ancient amber for this. We've already spent all the ancient amber on Arcana. Maybe we go for troop upgrades though, so +1 troop movement on these. So one thing we do have a lot of is these. +2 hit points to these. I mean, that's enough right there. That's already going to do a lot. We got 3 full stacks of those. +2 hit points makes a pretty big difference. +1 range for the lobbers and chuckers, but also +1 deadly range. That would be pretty good. But perhaps we prefer order. We did run out of order in the previous fight. We can go for 2 of those. Okay, is there anything else we can actually afford? Not really. We could spend resources in other ways, but no, I think we just buy the remainder of the Blighted Vessels. And we're going to beeline to the west, straight towards Soughtfor's town. Hopefully we do have the units we need to take this on. And the turn there. Okay, we've raised the other settlement, don't think we care too much about that. Yeah, we go across to this. We have already been to this area, so there's not much to be explored. Let's just move straight across. We can't go for another Essence Anomaly. We already benefit from the previous one. Still in the Watchtower. Hang on a minute. They can reach here. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. Do we come back and take him on, or do we just take his town? If I could see how big his town is, that would help. What I will do is I'll go back to this, and the guard tower here needs 5 celestial ore to be upgraded. Let's just buy one and make sure we bring in as many defenders as possible, just in case he does reach. And then I think I do want to still go for his town. There's nothing we can do for this one. Yeah, so we could go for the guard tower, but it only produces a few units per round, so it would take too many rounds to build up. I'm going to at least go to the Farseer's vessel. I think it will make sense at that point just to push on. Okay, humans is converting our habitat, so that actually buys us a turn or so. Should have a bit of time to recruit a few more wielders too. Okay, Farseer's vessel, there's a couple of things we can pick up to the west, but I think we go straight for the town. So yeah, barrier town, insignificant threat level, but actually quite a few guards. It's still insignificant threat level just because we are that strong now. It's late game phase. Do we go for more research? I think we probably still should. So the additional initiative for our troops, let's do that. Do get that in. Then we still have a little bit of Ancient Amber left, but not enough to go for the Rooted Order upgrade. Other unit upgrades, we could go for the additional damage, the additional range on lobbers and chuckers. Could be worth doing. Yeah. Let's just do it. Don't want to take too many losses here, as oh wow, we run out of movement right as we're about to reach. So we should still see them coming before they get close to this town. We don't need to start recruiting units just yet. As yeah, he's still converting for now. We can see him outside. Anyway, let's go for this. These humans were hostile, so their presence could no longer be tolerated. Seed would be planted, spores spread, and they would grow. Okay, so we have our leapers to close down the veteran musketeers, our piercers even. These things dig and then come up to attack. So somewhere like that could work. No high ground to work with. But yeah, this stack of 200 spawns with the 3 to 5 damage instead of the natural 1 to 3. Plus 14 health instead of the original 7. That's going to be such a power stack. And it's not even at its full potential, like there's a... There we go, we do take a loss. There's a spore specialist, a spawn specialist wielder or vessel, which allows these to do even more damage and move even further. But yeah, I think we just rush forwards, I guess. We could go for Dimension Door. I know what's really tempting me. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna see if we can get the Spore Cloud, the Toxin Cloud, to actually do a significant amount of damage for once. Let's see what happens. So yeah, it does actually kill most of them off. Okay, so these can burrow. They can't come up there though. Okay, we'll just see if we can come up there next round. So a couple of losses there, that's fine. Let's leap up to here. Kill off the veteran musketeers, as they do take that hit a lot better than I expected, and we can still go for this attack if we want to, or we can finish these off, which I guess we should. Then these get to move 10 to 14 kills. Let's do it. We still get the next move, and I don't think we can shoot these. Yeah, they're too high up. So let's just go for the additional spell damage from Verdant Pulse. And now these units can't reach, but we can go for Dimensional Door to finish these off if we want to. It's actually cheaper just to kill them with Psychic Spear. Before we do though, what else could we do? So we could go for Clouded Vision if we want to. The additional damage from Onslaught requires just one more Chaos, but it's not going to come from these 3 units. Don't have any relevant symbiosis to use. So yeah, let's kill these off. And do we have enough of anything to finish these off before they can move? Probably not. Yeah, there might be something I'm missing, but I mean, I guess I could go for like Chaos Step and then... if I still had enough for Dimensional Door, I could go for that then, but... Okay, so we're gonna get 1 Creation, 1 Arcana, followed by 2 Arcana. So just 4 Arcana in total, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, okay. If I go for swap, what do I need for that? Oh, that's perfect. That immediately solves our problems, and we actually still need to kill off the ballista. So let's go for justice on that. And we have taken his town with just the couple of losses to the spawns. Actually, a couple more losses I forgot about, but yeah. Very acceptable losses. We will just go for raise. We don't care about protecting his town. Okay, we're gonna have to let these go. Rest of our stacks are better now. And yeah, I guess he can follow this path to the east, which allows him to link across to this, but is that the best way we can go? I guess it allows us to explore the map a little bit more. I'm sure this is the wrong choice, as there must be a portal somewhere. Oh, he goes that way. Okay, that's been a bit of a waste. Anyway, it's fine. I think we can probably defend this if we need to, or at least do a lot of damage to him. So resources coming in as we raise. Let's go for this and see what it reveals, if there is a way across that's faster. We do have the inn. Cozy Tavern. Gives us a bit more movement. And that is clearly not the way, so I guess we continue to explore in this direction. And we could go for something like, I guess it's time for this. View radius 2 is useful, let's go for it. Explore as much of the map as we can. And let's actually go back to this. So if we want to buy ourselves a bit more Glimmerweave, we need 3,500 gold there, let's do that. Additional movement once again. And we still need a little bit more, but we can do it. Okay, so we've got as much movement as possible. Should kick in, actually immediately, that's great. Okay, going to end the turn there. As, okay, he is coming to attack us. That's fine, we've already committed to this path. Let's continue exploring. +1 view radius and movement from that. And then over here we've got the Loggers Camp, Blacksmith. We'll go to the Villager Stone. Just a small buff. And we'll move to the south. This guy is still going to take a couple of turns to reach us. He's now actually considered an easy fight. You can see he's turned green. He's making his way over slowly. We don't have sight on him anymore. But we're not far off. We probably can catch him up. Shouldn't need to play this out. Yep, that's fine. Let's raise. Discard. Let's go straight south. So I think we could actually catch him up before he reaches us. But he's not far off. It's going to be borderline. We'll see what happens, as he's maybe unaware of where we are. Puts himself in range. And we probably don't have time to go to the Essence Anomaly. We'll go to the waterfall. And now, all the Scar Brutes, it's considered a simple fight regardless. Some shadows. Do we have enough for one final research? +10 defense for all our units, that's pretty good. +2 hit points for all our units, that's even better. With the particular types of units we have. We can go for +1 troop movement in the first round. Don't think we care too much. I think we'll go for the additional hit points. And we still have enough for additional defense. Let's do that. And then none of this stuff makes too much difference. Not going to do any more trading, it's a simple battle, we should be able to win it. This was a wielder, but not human and not disease. Small, hard of mind, and burning. Ancient memories stirred in the roots. Sustenance, workers, The memories were old, and categories were unclear. New assessment was needed. So, is there enough of you left that you can speak? Yes. And listen, communicate. Good. Well, this might be strange, but you're in breach of contract. You've grown too far. Contract? Agreement? No. Well, you are. The contract, it's this paper, see? It says this area is our client's. So, I've been hired to make sure... Gifts. You require gifts. It's too far gone for that. Talking to this thing is impossible. Company attack. Okay, I'm seeing easy victims for Mucus Blast, if we can just speed ourselves up enough. No higher ground to work with. This is possibly the best corridor for the pulses. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, pretty confident this will be the final battle. Shadows do get to move first. These do have higher initiative than us. But he's not gone for a spell yet, and he is making himself an easy target for us in some ways. Goes for the ice bolt on those. That's not a problem, that's absolutely fine. Oh, and that is perfect for the pulses. Not the wisest of choices by our opponent there. 3 to 6 kills actually if we go for this, even with this many. Not strong enough to kill one of these off. Guess they've got defend on the go. Plus 25 defense. These haven't. No, they have. No, they haven't. They have the ability to do it, but they haven't done it. But yeah, if we go up against those 4 to 8 kills, that's pretty good. We still probably want to rely on area of effect as much as possible. Yeah, it's probably the safer bet to not go for the attack, to instead go for the usual Spore Cloud. And then yeah, we can still go for the Mucus Blast and all of those if we want to. Oh, we can't go for it, because it costs 1 movement. So we'd have to go for, well... Do we want to go for anything? I think we'd rather go for Burst of Strength, but we don't have enough. We could go for Aegis, but it doesn't help us in this fight. Plus 25 melee offense is tempting, but I think for the amount it costs us, probably not worth it. We could repel them to do damage, but I think I'd rather keep them around for Mucus Blast. So yeah, I think maybe Ethereal Scales perhaps? We're certainly not going to control their initiative at this point, as they have all already moved. So yeah, maybe Ethereal Scales. Entangle also not relevant at this point. Rejuvenation. I think Ethereal Scales. And we'll just do as much damage as we can to this. As yeah, only 4 losses taken in response. These can't really move too far, but they can burrow. Everything here is going to just be coming forwards. I guess we'll come out around here, we'll see what happens. Only 1 kill from the Piercers. So not a great fight for them at all. Can now go for Burst of Strength a little bit late. I think we just move forwards, set up a bit of a zone of control, and accept that those units could be in some trouble. Then we can go for Mucus Blast on all of these stacks. Let's absolutely do that. Do we have a chance of getting to go again? Possibly. Yeah, this is just too perfect for Mucus Blast, we just got to keep doing it, and then we can still go for the Pulses attack through these 3 stacks. Tempting to go for something like Burst of Strength. I think we hold back. Just go for the attack. Scarred Brutes, taking the hits incredibly well. We can go for Lunge, which surely finishes off this stack of 5, let's do it. Actually doesn't quite. These can also go for a lunge, but against a stack of 8 it's not going to do a great job. Maybe Burst of Strength before we move. Thing is though, stack of 98 obviously goes for the stack of 2. What we probably should do, or perhaps should have done, is try to control the initiative a bit more going into the next round. And still give someone else a bit more initiative, so I could give these more initiative. 39 currently. 62 to beat. 52 on those. Yeah, they get the initiative next round. There's not much we can do about that. I could move these away with Repel, just to do the damage from zone of control. It's probably one of the best things we can do at this point. I don't think plus 10 offense is worth it, but I think Repel on this is worth it. Moves them all the way back to there. They can still reach. Okay, does that change our thinking at all? We can remove all essence from something, so the shadows I think do produce... no, 2 types of essence. These only produce 1 destruction each, so yeah, he's not such a good spellcaster. This is a straight up brawl. And to be honest, we obviously are strong enough that we can win this. I will go for the burst of strength, and I think I'll worry a bit less about the tactics. Oh wow, I decided to move past that to go for another one, not sure how I feel about that. We'll go for lunge with these. To finish that stack off, we get momentum, that stack can't move, and now that is a really bad hit to be taking from 10 of those, but it actually only kills off 10 or so Blighted Vessels, and we can see what a power stack these have become with our various upgrades. Can't yet afford to go for another burst of strength. 4 to 7 kills. We can obviously actually kill these off with Repel. So yeah, this is a perfect situation for Repel in 3 of our unit zones of control, and we kill it off. And now we can still move down and kill these off. These come up and they're in the wrong place. I'm not even surprised. What are we supposed to do? We can't burrow and we can't move, and we're obviously not going to attack our friend. So that's kind of weird. We can't repel to keep the opponents away. We could go for Invigorate. I'm not sure that gives us the moves we need. We can go for Invigorate or Quicken. We can actually go for Quicken twice. So we could go for it on these. They have 25 initiative. It is 32 to beat. At this point, pulses will friendly fire. Probably this stack we want to move next. No, actually. We go for this twice. Go for all of these, which does slow them down. Then we can leap and... yeah, let's get stuck in. So stack of 7 gets to move next. We're obviously in some trouble here against those in a straight up brawl, but I do just want to take these on. Actually only take the 1 loss from those in the end, and we'll go for Verdant Pulse. We will go for the lunge into the stack of 6, which doesn't quite kill them off. Okay, I was hoping obviously they'd pick the stack of 6, but they don't. Not quite sure how that works. 2 to 5 kills on these. They are the first to move going into next round. We'll see if we can slow them down at all. Probably not. Okay, we cannot go for Mucus Blast with this stack. Why is that? Affected by Ice Bolt. Okay, so we can't move, we can't shoot. Can't Mucus Blast, fine. Goes for Justice on those, and they do fire their attack, which I think did some friendly fire. I didn't really see that. How much did they do? Yeah, we actually did quite a lot of damage to our own units there. That is a risk with the pulses, something to look out for. Anyway, this is pretty much done. Don't know if it seems silly to try and attack the stack of 4, probably. Let's just kill these off. Stack of 25 then does get to move. Let's actually involve these because we've not yet been able to use them. So we'll go down one step, dimension door ourselves into here, and will we friendly fire? Let's find out. Looks like we don't. Anyway, the unit we never got to use actually gets the killing blow. And we have defeated Soughtfor. We have claimed a few little artifacts, nothing particularly great. +1 range actually is pretty good. The humanoids were defeated and no worthy vessels were found among the bodies. The strange wielder of the burning mind lived. I surrender. Can we barter for my life? Yes. Serve. Serve you as a wielder? Yes. Needed for communication. I agree, but for how long? Length? No. Save humans from disease? 10 habitats. Very well, I agree. Good. We need extinguish the diseased. By the sun's scorching breath, what have I gotten into? The wielder of the unknown was trusted, now an ally of the roots. Spores, fruit and fungi were sent and given to the wielder. It will be useful, it might serve longer. It might become a vessel. And we have defeated the second of our opponents. And we have completed Grow. So once again, if you want to see more of the Roots faction, do keep an eye out for my next series, Creeping Borders, where we will be able to use a few more of their different units, in particular the Seeds and Roots of the Mother. Really interesting units, really looking forward to using those properly and showing their full potential. And again, if you do want to pick up the Roots DLC at GOG and support the channel at the same time, I will leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.